You guys already know this video is going to be lit because welcome to the channel and welcome to the family. So today for you guys, I'm going to be giving you guys 9 reasons why you should go ahead and buy the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which I have here. And I've been literally been dailying it for literally since I got it. I've been dailying it, I've been loving my experience with it, and I've also been enjoying this device so much. So in this video, like I said, I'll be giving you guys 9 reasons why you should go pick yourself up this phone because it's absolutely amazing. So reason number 1, if you're looking to upgrade to a 5G device that's from Apple, then this is your best bet because this is packed in with the latest 5G technology, and it's very fast with connectivity, especially when you're in 5G area. It connects really quickly and it's just so fast, and just everything just runs and moves so much smoother with the 5G on this device. So that leads me on to number 2 reason, the display. The display is absolutely amazing. You get a 6.7-inch display on this bad boy, which gives you a kind of like an immersive kind of view on a mobile device. I know it's not like a monitor or a TV that's huge, and you get more of a field of depth of view. But for a smartphone, 6.7-inch is, I believe, is more than enough for a display on a device. Anything bigger, anything smaller, then it just feels a little bit weird in an average person's hand, because I have an average hand fingers, and I'm able to hold the phone well with my hand, and just viewing and taking content from this device like YouTube videos, watching a film, it's just that nice, beautiful, sweet spot for just consuming content on the device, which is just absolutely awesome. And also the brightness of this is very high. It goes up to 2000 nits. So when you're out in the sun or in a bright area or a bright environment, there's no really any flickering going on around the screen or anything like that to prevent you from seeing what you're doing on the screen. I mean, I took this bad boy on holiday to Spain, and I was out there in the sunlight, and it was very bright outside, and I was still able to see and do whatever I needed to do on the device without any, like squinting my eyes to try and see what I was doing. The screen was very bright and very vibrant as well, which was absolutely awesome. Now that moves me on to number 3 reason why I should pick up one of these phones, is the battery life. The battery life is absolutely phenomenal on this bad boy. It has a 4323 milliamp hour battery, which should last you about 19 hours and 5 minutes, which is just absolutely awesome. And for me personally, I'm on this phone literally every single day, all day long, making phone calls, social media consumption, YouTube as well, just pretty much giving this phone a run for his money basically. And it's pretty much been holding up the battery life all day long, to be honest with you. And whenever I come back home after using this device, I'm still having a good high percentage battery life on this phone, which is just absolutely awesome. So yeah, there's no shortage there with battery life. It's always going to be there, it's going to do the job, and it's always going to be kept, it's always going to keep itself awake for, till whenever you decide, okay, it's time to put it back on charge. Anyways, moving on from there is the reason number 4. Number 4 is the camera improvement. So as we all know, Apple has always had the cameras in their older phones, and they've always stuck to 12 megapixel camera, and every single other company and every single other brand is moving up from how many megapixel count they have in their devices and raising it up even higher as the years goes by. But Apple has, for some reason, has just left it as 12 megapixel. And in this year, with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, they've upped that megapixel count to 48, which is just absolutely awesome. So we get 48 megapixel lens in these on this phone, and the camera lenses as well, they're a little bit bigger than the previous generations as well. But yeah, with the iPhone, with the 48 megapixel camera, it just gives you a more dense, beautiful, more picture quality and video quality as well when you're actually using the phone to take videos or take pictures or anything like that. It's very vibrant, very clear. The contrast is very good, and it's just all around a very good and solid camera for this device. And also the front megapixel, the front facing camera as well has been upgraded to from an 8 megapixel to a 12 megapixel camera. So it was like they swapped. It's like they took the 12 megapixel camera from the back of the phone and put it to the front. And yeah, the selfie camera absolutely smashes it. It's beautiful. Portrait mode is absolutely beautiful as well. Brings out the beauty in your face and just blurs out the whole background, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal and absolutely amazing. But yeah, no faults there with the camera. The camera is a absolutely stunning and solid camera. And also I see people on YouTube actually comparing the camera on this phone with like cameras like the Sony camera that I'm using right now, or the Canon camera, these big cameras that YouTubers tend to use to film their videos. They're comparing it with these big cameras and these high-end cameras, and to be honest with you, it keeps up pretty damn well. I mean, it's not on the same level as those cameras, but it keeps up it keeps up very, very well, which is just absolutely amazing. And that's how you know that this camera on this phone is absolutely a beast. And also, when I went on holiday as well to Spain, I literally recorded my whole vlog with this camera, and the quality was just absolutely amazing. It was just mind blowing how good the camera on this device was. Anyway, moving on from that is the processor. The processor on this phone, I'm not really too big into the processors of the iPhones, but all I know is that the iPhone has a A16 chipset inside of it for the processor, and from what I've used and what I know from it, it's very, very fast, very snappy, and it just gets the work done, and it just gets the job done, and it's very quick. And yeah, it's just a fast processor, to be honest with you. And I'm sure Apple is working on the next generation of this processor, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be always fast. And yeah, it's just an amazing processor, to be honest with you. And then moving on to the more exciting bit about this device is the dynamic island. The dynamic island is just absolutely phenomenal, amazing, and the fact that they've made. I mean, before I even go into this notch, basically, there's a lot of people out there that do not like the notch. Me personally, I do not like the notch. And even on where's my Samsung Galaxy? Oh, I'm using it there. Even the Galaxy S21 Ultra had the hole punch, but it still didn't really give me that huge. Well, it did, but it was still there. You can pretty much still see it whenever you're watching a video on the screen of the phone, but it was just a little bit smaller than everything else, which is absolutely awesome. But with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, they've kept the notch, but the notch is a lot more practical now. You can do a lot more things, and you can interact with the notch a lot more. That's why they're calling it the dynamic island. So for example, if you're playing the music, let me just play music right now, and I'll show you guys that. So for example, you're playing music on your phone. Here you go. There it is. It kind of just expands. It goes from a notch, and then it expands like that. And the cool thing about this is you can actually press and hold it, and you can interact with it. So you can pause your music, you can skip to the next track, go back to the previous track that you were on before, and yeah, it's just an absolutely awesome, thing to have on the phone, especially when you're doing something on, like for example, you're browsing the social media, you're browsing social media, or just browsing the internet or anything like that, and you just want to quickly change your next track or pause your music. You can literally just press and hold it while you're still on on whatever app you're using, and then you can just work with it from there. Again with this as well, especially when you're on the phone call as well, you can press and hold it. You can do all sorts. You can put loudspeaker on, you can mute the call, you can end the call, you can do literally a lot of things on this dynamic island. Oh, 1 second, let me get this. Yo, I'm good, well one. Oh, that was my sister on the phone. But anyways, like I was saying, yeah, the dynamic island. Oh, I should have showed you guys a little bit. I should have given you guys an example actually, because you rang me. But like I said to you guys, even when you're on call, you can actually fiddle around with that, and just do whatever you need to do. But Apple do say they're updating the system as well, so you can do more with it as well. They can add more things that you can do and interact with that dynamic island, which is just absolutely awesome. And then moving on from that is the emergency SOS and crash detection feature on this device. So pretty much the way it works is the emergency SOS. The way it works is if you're in a desert or if you're just out somewhere that is very remote and there's no civilization at all, the phone actually has a built-in satellite that will be able to connect to the satellite up there in space or in the sky so that you can make a call or call for help, which is really, really good. But yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're somewhere that there's no service, you're always going to be able to get service by the satellite that's built in this phone and the satellite up there. You'll be able to get help. And then now going on to the crash detection, there's a little sensor in this device actually that 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 picks up shock. So if you're in a car accident and it detects the shock, it automatically just calls the your emergency services and they'll come down and help you. Especially if you've had an accident and you can't get to your phone, and yeah, that sensor in there just senses that you've had a crash, and then it calls up the emergency services, which is just absolutely awesome. And that is such a nice good feature for just in general. Hopefully that doesn't ever happen, but it's just a feature there to keep you guys safe and also just keep the whole environment nice and safe. Anyway, moving on to the next thing is the always on display. The always on display, it's I have for me personally, I have a love and hate relationship with this always on display. I mean, coming from the Samsung devices, which has always had always on display since the Galaxy S6, and coming to the iPhone, which has also always on display, it gave me a little bit of a joy because I'm not really missing out a lot of things that I had to sacrifice with the Samsung. Moving on, coming on to the iPhone, so always on display is very nice. It gives you obviously it gives you a quick brief of what the time is or what notifications you have without even picking up your device, which is just absolutely awesome. But yeah, the only one thing I'm annoying about this always on display is just too bright. It's just way too bright. I've looked in the settings, a way to turn it down a little bit. You really can't. It's just on or off, and that's it. But yeah, if you're in a dark room and you're watching TV and you have it late, upright, screen up beside you, it's just a little bit annoying because it just kind of just illuminates the whole place. So I'm finding myself having to turn the phone over, putting it face down, and then that kind of just defeats the whole point of having it always on display because I can't just glance and see what the time is or see what notifications I have. So yeah, I think Apple needs to really have a setting that you can turn down the brightness of that always on display. Anyway, moving on to the next thing is bigger storage. So with this device, have a lot of storage in this bad boy. So we have 128 gig gigabyte storage, which is the phone I have right here, and it goes all the way up to 1 terabyte storage, which is absolutely awesome. So you got 128, 256, 512, and also 1 terabyte, and that's a lot of space. And just know that the higher the storage you go, the higher the cost of the device gets. But I mean, if you want to get a phone with bigger storage, then that's a sacrifice you have to make. You have to spend more money. But yeah, that's been my 9 reasons why you should go ahead and pick yourself up one of these devices because, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's an absolutely beautiful and absolutely stunning device. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, comment down below, and tell me if there's any reason why that you've decided to buy the phone that I haven't mentioned in this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.